Hi, it is Christmas time here, and every year for Christmas, my family does a Secret Santa gift exchange. And the gift exchange has a competition attached to it. Nothing to do with the gift itself, but to do with the wrapping. So whoever has the best wrapping job of their gift wins that year. And every year there's a theme to the wrapping. This year it's Disney themed. There have been some pretty cool wrap jobs over the years, and I just wanted to share how I did mine this year. And for my Disney wrapping, I chose Fantasia. So I got my uncle this year and I wrapped up his gift in a small box and made sure I had one that was bigger. And then I wrapped the bigger box, the outside box, in black poster board paper. I used a mixture of glue and tape to get the poster board on, but in retrospect, if I could go back again, I would have glued the entire poster board on. I didn't glue every single portion, but that made it so that later on, once I drilled holes into this, the poster board wasn't exactly attached to the cardboard, so it made it harder for the light to come through because it had, more things to bend across. And then I looked at a scene from Fantasia and sort of roughly drew out the scene of Mickey shooting lights into the air. So I used a silver Sharpie to give myself kind of a guide of where I wanted the lights to be. And then it was time to drill some holes. I started with bigger drill bits and then went smaller and smaller. I tried to do the bigger holes near the middle of the stream that I was doing and get smaller and smaller as it went out. And this is where I really started to notice that the black poster board was not attached to the cardboard, and that made it a little bit more difficult. And because it's paper and cardboard and they're really soft, a lot of small pieces of paper kind of stuck around there. They aren't perfect clean holes. So to get some of the debris out, I used a toothpick and poked into the holes and tried to push it down inside. I ended up trying a bunch of different methods to try and get rid of that extra paper debris that just didn't get drilled out, and I didn't have a lot of luck. If I could go back, I probably wouldn't use a cardboard box with poster paper. Maybe would have painted a box or tried to find something that was a bit more stiff than paper. And then I wanted to test it. I put the lights I had bought inside the box to see how the light went through, and it wasn't great. It was just okay. Then because you could see some of the cardboard poking out through the holes, I went in with a black Sharpie and just tried to darken the light pieces of cardboard that you could see so that it at least looked black from the outside. Try to figure out how to get the light to reflect more. So I decided to wrap the inside box, the gift itself. I wrapped it in foil, hoping that the foil would help kind of reflect the light back out of the box as much as possible. My original plan was to wrap the present itself in the lights and then put the present inside the box. But even with the foil, that wasn't excellent, so what I ended up doing is taping the lights directly up against the outer box, right up against the holes themselves, so that had the most direct possible light. And they were bending back and forth, and this isn't really the way that the lights move, so I used tape, and then some more tape, and then some packing tape, and then I ran out of tape, and just tape those lights in. So in the end, it was 5 meters worth of LED lights. These are the lights I used. They're just an LED strip light, and these ones came with an option to sync the lights to music. So taping the lights right up against the holes actually helped a lot. The light went through a lot better that way. So I thought that was my best solution. Then my next step was to make the Mickey. So I found a picture of Mickey from Fantasia and I traced it and cut it out and then colored it in just with markers. And then while I was at the dollar store getting the black poster board, I found this blue sparkly piece of paper and I thought that was pretty cool, and so I got that for the hat for Mickey. His hat has a couple of shapes in it, so I wanted the hat shapes to have light shining through them as well. So I used an X-Acto knife to cut the shapes out of his hat. Then I glued him on and thought that I would X-Acto knife again the cardboard underneath him under those shapes, but that ended up being pretty hard, so I ripped the hat back off and I just X-Acto knifed an entire hole out of the box underneath where his hat was, just a big hole, so that the lights would shine through, and I glued the hat back on, and it worked out pretty well. You could see the light through the little shapes in his hat. And then I went back and I thought it looked a little bit boring still. So I went back with a silver Sharpie and started to highlight some of the holes with silver, thinking that might reflect light more and look a little bit more interesting for when the lights aren't actually on. But I ran out of silver Sharpie pretty quickly, so that didn't work out that well. I only have some of them done. And then I figure I'm done. I feel like this is a good enough wrapping job. If I am able to take video on Christmas Day, I will, and I'll put it in here so that you can see how it went. Okay, pause, wait, last minute addition. I just kept looking at it and it was missing something. As you can tell, that something was glitter glue. I went around every single hole with glitter glue, and the glue part really cleaned up the fraying edges of the paper. And then I added even more glitter dots than there are holes, so the whole thing is a lot brighter. The glitter helps reflect the light, and I added my uncle's name at the top.
Awesome. Whoa. That's super cool.
That is
This is pretty awesome. Magic carpet.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
I would love to know if any of you do really cool gift wrapping instead of just regular wrapping gifts. Because for me and my family, it's not really about the gift itself. Gifts are just stuff. But this is a way to show that you spent time thinking about someone and making something special for them. So I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? So that's it. Merry Christmas!